My name is Tracy Nino and I'm with Hearthside Real Estate, and this video is meant to introduce you to the parts of the offer that are negotiable. Not surprisingly, the biggest negotiable part of the offer is price. Just as a rule of thumb, you can expect that you are going to have to pay above asking price when a house is new to the market and very hot. You might expect to play at asking price if it's new to the market or newer to the market, but maybe not quite as active as a hot property. You might be able to get it below asking price if the house has been on the market for a bit. That being said, you can only offer what you're comfortable with, and sometimes it's worth putting your offer in, even if it doesn't follow these guidelines. The next negotiable part of the offer is the inclusions and exclusions. When somebody lists a property, they put in MLS what they'd like to include and what they'd like to exclude in the listing. Oftentimes these things are related to appliances. Are they going to include the washer and dryer? Are they going to include the kitchen appliances? But sometimes there's some additional things that get snuck in there as well. On part of the offer, you get to decide which of those things you are requesting and which of those things that you would like left behind. The next negotiable part of the offer is the closing date. A lender generally needs 30 to 45 days to complete a loan. Sometimes sellers have requests on closing dates, like they want it super quick or they want it a little further out. And so choosing that closing date can make an offer stronger or weaker as well. When you write an offer, you include how much earnest money you are willing to put down within 3 days of getting an accepted offer. This earnest money is your way of showing the seller that you are committed to following through on the details of the offer. Lots of times on less expensive properties, $5,000 is an appropriate amount of earnest money. As properties become more expensive, $10,000 or $20,000 might become more appropriate in those cases. The earnest money applies to your down payment, and it also gets given back to you if for some reason the offer doesn't go through because of a contingency. If the offer doesn't go through because you just decide to back out, you shouldn't get that earnest money back. When you write an offer, you're committing to go through with the terms that you have written in that offer. The next negotiable part of the offer is the inspection, whether you'd like to do one or not. Doing an inspection is a smart thing to do to make sure that the property is as good of a property as you're expecting it to be. That being said, offers often get accepted when you do not include an inspection contingency. That's something that you just have to weigh your pros and cons at the time of writing the offer. And if you're comfortable excluding the inspection, or if it's important to you to include. The next negotiable part of the offer is the financing terms. This includes what type of loan you're getting and how much of a down payment you are planning to put down. Often sellers choose the buyers with a better down payment just because they have a little better chance of not having problems getting a loan. The next negotiable part of the offer is the buyer agent commission. As we've probably discussed, the commission that we earn by helping you through the transaction can be written into the offer so that it doesn't have to provide extra money that you need to bring to closing. Most buyers include that commission within their offer. This video is meant to cover the basics of the negotiable parts of the offer. There are additional things and nuances that you can include in your offer and we can discuss when it comes time for you to write. However, we wanted you to have a background in the major things that contribute to an offer before we start our conversations. I hope this was helpful for you, and we look forward to helping you find your perfect home.